hard to move forward when it feels like the whole world is telling you to stop and that everything is bad. Bad news on the internet, everywhere. Bad news, bad politics, bad future, bad climate, bad, bad, bad. But what if we decided that things were good, or that we could help make them good, that there were things we could do? What if we decided that we would commit ourselves to improvement? What could we do then? How could we move forward? Well, actually, I think there are three things that we could do to help ourselves move forward. And here they are. Yes, embrace the opportunity. There are good reasons that we tend to say no. We're wired by evolution to say no. When you think about our forebears many years ago, prehistorically, out in the savannah, if you wander too far afield, perhaps the lion you didn't see would eat you, and so it's safer to stay where you are. And so we're predisposed towards safety. And so we're disinclined to say yes. But I ask you, what if we embraced the opportunity and said yes? What might be possible? What if instead of saying no all the time, we wondered, yes, how could I do this? Yes. And we thought about the possibilities behind change. By the way, the predisposition to safety is why 70% of the people in the United States still live where they grew up. They never took a chance, never tried anything different, again, because we're wired towards safety. As people who want to affect change, of course, staying exactly where we are and what we're doing now is not going to lead us anyplace adventurous or anyplace fun and new. If the number one mistake that people make is to reject opportunity, the number two mistake is to immediately narrow their choices into two. Yes or no, up or down, in or out, left or right, and so you hear they've given themselves only two. But what if you opened up the optionality? Because usually when you say yes or no, you've already constrained your options, and frequently, again, the answer will be no. And we want to try to get to yes and figure out how to do things, because we all want to affect change. And so if we do this, if we stop saying, should I do this, yes or no, and we instead reframe this, we could get a better solution. And so the way to reframe it is to ask, if I wanted to do that, what would I need to do? If I wanted to accomplish this, what would I need to do? And so we open up the optionality. So I'll give you an example. Let's say that we said, I see this problem and I want to start a nonprofit to tackle that problem because I don't see any other nonprofit doing that. Then you might say, well, if I wanted to do that, how would I do that? Well, I would need to focus my energies, so I will have to clear my calendar. I will need some startup money, so I will need some people to write initial checks. I will need a mission statement. I will need to form the nonprofit corporation. And so you see what happens is when you start by answering the what if and how would I questions, then you're on your way to solving the problem. And so that's why it's great to open up your optionality, because closing off optionality just leads to no most of the time. Yes, you want to inspire creativity in yourself and in others, because at heart, we are a creative species. We have lots of creative ideas, we have creative solutions, and you know what? At heart, we're all artists. It's within all of us. And so you ask yourself, well, how do you inspire creativity? So how you inspire creativity when you come up against someone with an idea and you inspire them is to say, yes, and. So yes, and is actually a theater improv game. And so I'll give you an example of an improv. Here we are, we're stuck out in the middle of the ocean, and then you say yes, and with Brad Pitt. And so now we're off and we're writing a sketch, right? So yes, and builds upon what came before. And the reason one wants to do that is because if you say, we're in the middle of the ocean, and I say, no, we're not, then there's no place for the sketch to go. And so essentially, I've played the role of a naysayer and shut you down. But if instead I reward your creativity and I applaud you for it and excite you about it, you will have more creative ideas. And people who run creative brainstorming sessions know this very well, that yes and is at the heart of creativity. If we embraced our creativity and inspired creativity in others, we could accomplish anything because everybody wants to be lifted up and everybody wants to succeed. So that's it. Embrace opportunity, open up optionality, and inspire creativity. Because all of those problems the world is facing, we created those. If we created those, we can uncreate them. How, you might ask? Well, just by asking, you're on the path to answer it. Thank you.